In the 1930s and 1940s, the studio system was absolute. Actors did not choose roles. Studios chose them. A single contract could own a person for 7 years, sometimes longer. These contracts dictated weight, hairstyles, public relationships, interviews, and even private behavior. For young women especially, the studios promised fame but demanded obedience. The first starlet arrived from a small town, barely out of her teens. She was discovered at a beauty contest, signed within days, and renamed before she even understood what was happening. Her real voice was trained away, her accent erased, her opinions discouraged. She learned quickly that smiling on command mattered more than talent. When she resisted late night meetings or private dinners, she was labeled difficult. Roles disappeared overnight. Another young actress was marketed as the girl next door, sweet, innocent, pure. But behind closed doors, she was pressured to entertain powerful men whose approval decided her future. When she tried to speak up, she was reminded of her contract. Breach meant blacklisting. Silence meant survival. She chose silence. The third starlet was ambitious and sharp. She asked questions. She read her contract carefully. That alone made her dangerous. Studio executives spread rumors that she was unstable. Gossip columns suddenly turned cruel. Directors stopped calling. Her talent remained, but her career slowly suffocated. One woman was forced into a public romance with a male star to hide his private life. She played the role perfectly in public while privately feeling trapped in a lie she did not choose. When she asked for release, she was told she owed the studio loyalty. Her personal happiness was irrelevant. Another starlet struggled with exhaustion. Endless filming schedules, publicity tours, rehearsals, and forced appearances left her physically ill. Doctors hired by the studio prescribed pills to keep her awake and others to make her sleep. Her body became another asset to manage. Her breakdown was framed as weakness rather than abuse. The sixth actress was promised a leading role if she complied with unspoken expectations. She understood what was being asked without it ever being said. When she refused, the role went to someone else. She was demoted to minor parts, then forgotten entirely. Years later, she would say that losing her career was still better than losing herself. Another woman found success too quickly. Fame arrived before protection. Everyone wanted something from her. Studio heads, producers, agents. She was passed from office to office, praised and pressured in the same breath. When she collapsed emotionally, the studio arranged a quiet stay at a private facility, not for her healing, but to protect their image. One starlet fell in love with a married executive who promised to leave his wife. He never did. When she became inconvenient, she was labeled unstable. Her contracts were terminated. Her name disappeared from marquees. The story the public heard was that she could not handle fame. The truth was never printed. Another actress was groomed from childhood, signed as a teenager, raised on studio lots instead of playgrounds. Her sense of normal life never formed. By adulthood, she did not know how to say no. The studio knew this and exploited it relentlessly. When she later rebelled, she was punished harshly. There was the starlet who tried to unionize. She believed actors deserved rights, rest, and respect. She was quietly sabotaged. Casting directors were warned away. Her phone stopped ringing. Hollywood taught others a lesson through her downfall. One woman became famous for her beauty rather than her skill. She was displayed, photographed, and marketed endlessly. Yet she was rarely allowed to speak her mind. When she aged even slightly, the studio lost interest. She was replaced without warning, discarded like a broken prop. Another starlet battled addiction that began with studio-approved medication. Her pain was inconvenient, her vulnerability exploited. When she died young, the narrative focused on tragedy, not responsibility. The system that created her suffering remained untouched. The 13th woman attempted to escape by marriage. She hoped a powerful husband would protect her. Instead, the studio tightened its grip. Her husband was pressured, their relationship strained, her attempt at freedom backfired. The final starlet vanished entirely, no scandal, no dramatic ending. She simply left, her name faded, Her films remained frozen in time while a real story stayed buried. She survived, but the cost was everything she dreamed of becoming. These women were not weak. They were controlled by a system designed to reward obedience and punish resistance. The term bed puppets is not about explicit acts. It is about power dynamics, about careers dangled like strings, about autonomy removed piece by piece. Classic Hollywood sold fantasy while consuming its creators. The cameras never showed the fear. The premieres never revealed the pressure. The applause drowned out the cries. Today, we revisit these stories not to shame, but to remember, to understand